Hi, my name's Sienna and I'm a current student here at Macquarie University. Learning, teaching and employability are at the core of the university experience for students here at Macquarie. So what's our approach? Today I'm joined by Professor Dominique Parrish, who is our Pro-Vice-Chancellor of Learning and Teaching. Professor Parrish, thank you so much for your time today.
That's my pleasure.
So how does Macquarie approach learning and teaching, and how do you ensure that what students are experiencing is best practice?
The answer to both those questions is that we ask students. Firstly, we ask them what they want us to do in terms of how we deliver a quality learning experience for them. And we ask them these questions through things like surveys and focus groups and forums and through different student bodies. Then what we do is we design solutions with students. We design students in a way that will enable us to invite students to give us their opinions about the things that we should be doing. And then once we've delivered those solutions, we ask students to tell us how we're traveling. How are we going in terms of what they expect and in what they need from their learning and teaching? And this evidence is gathered through things like our institutional surveys, but also the national surveys that we have, which are benchmarked against other universities as well.
Obviously, there are quite a few components that you mentioned there, but how do you think that Macquarie approach stands out?
So I think that we stand out in terms of our investment in our students, and we are finding more and more that our student data that is collected from a national survey is telling us that the performance that we have in learning and teaching is improving year on year on year. We also know that our world rankings are increasing each year. We are now in the top 200 universities in the world, which is a very impressive place to be. And we are looking for new and innovative ways of delivering learning. So we are the first university in Australia to roll out an e-portfolio tool that students can use to gather their evidence of their learning and their experience that they can use when they go for interviews outside of their degree. And that e-portfolio solution is being rolled out to every student in the university. It's a first in Australia, which is a really big accolade for us. Also, we're introducing a new form of learning, very bite-sized learning, which we call micro-credentials. And we started to introduce these in 2019. And in 2020, the Commonwealth Government decided that it would fund micro-credentials. So we were ahead of the game there too. Macquarie is standing out because of its progressive, thoughtful way of approaching learning and teaching.
Definitely. So I'd say one of my favorite things about being a student at Macquarie is all of the hands-on and practical experience that I get that's kind of preparing me for the workforce. So would you be able to tell us about what employability strategies are integrated into our courses to build those skills of students?
So we're looking at employability from a number of different lenses. Firstly, the activities that students can engage in that are authentic, that are related to what they may be doing in a workplace. We're also looking at explicit employability skills that we can develop in students throughout the duration of their course. We're also looking at ways that we can enable students to make connections with industry through things like careers fairs and networking events, opportunities for students to volunteer. They're all the sorts of things that we are looking at how we might be able to progress their employability while they're studying.
Of course. So, one of the key criteria when applying for a role is experience. We often hear the phrase, you need experience to get a job, but a job to get experience. So, how are we bridging that gap? What opportunities do students have to build those industry skills and experience during their studies?
So in the last 12 months, we have developed an employability framework, which is a framework that helps us map out the employability activities that we are embedding in courses. And in that framework, we are explicitly requiring courses to ensure that there is an end of course opportunity for students to practice all of the learning that they've done throughout their course in an authentic workplace. Or if not in an authentic workplace, then engaging in an authentic work activity, work problem that they have to solve. We're also offering things like opportunities for students to engage in our state competition, Univative, which is, again, working with industry to come up with solutions to problems that industries are experiencing. We have the volunteering opportunities, and we also have a student employment service, which enables us to find students employment while they are studying, paid employment while they are studying. And once we are all back to a more normal, we will be able to start opening up these opportunities both onshore and internationally so that they can access global experiences.
Fabulous. And do you have any advice for prospective students who are weighing up their university options at the moment?
So there's a lot of advice that could be given, but I think if I focus on a couple of key things, and the first thing is to say that I think you should take a very cognitive approach to thinking through and weighing up all the different options that you have available to you. Think about the reputation of the university. For example, Macquarie is in the top 200 in the world, high accolade, and it's something that will hold the university in esteem. And employers will look at the university that you've studied at if there are, on the balance of probabilities, a few people employable in front of them. The other thing is make sure that you are able to do the course that you want to do, the course that's going to get you the job that you want to do. Do a bit of research about the course options and the things that will enable you to get that career that you want or that job that you want at the end of your degree. And make sure that you are embracing the different types of course choices that you can make. So, for example, double degrees are increasingly becoming a way that students can make themselves more competitive for employment. Macquarie offers the most double degrees in all of Australia. So Macquarie has more double degrees than all of the other universities put together. It's worth thinking about whether a double degree is going to make you more employable at the end. I also think it's important to ascertain how important the location of the university is, things like travel time and the cost of travel, because they are factors that will have an impact on students' experience and satisfaction. And then finally, I think it's important to think about the type of learning that you like to engage in. Do you like a face-to-face learning approach, or are you more of an online learning person? Because that is a really significant factor in choosing your degree. Macquarie is a very strong face-to-face learning and teaching university. And we are constantly looking at ways of improving our face-to-face as well as our blended. So we are looking at some of our online options.
Thank you so much for your time, Professor Parrish. We really appreciate it.
That's my pleasure.